This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Hello, Miss Silk. How are you?
Hello, Miss Jenny. I am doing well. Can't
We've
complain.
we've got some slow writers popping in here, so it's you and me.
Well, that's good. I mean, I don't have a problem at all, honey. If we can do it with 50, we can do it with two. So let's.
Amen, girly. Amen. Yeah, no, I know. There's a lot of stuff going on out there. It's crazy.
Yeah, it surely is. It is really, truly crazy.
Yeah, what are you seeing? Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of. I just had a great podcast right now with Captain Kyle, and we're seeing a lot of these. And I sit in these spaces, right, and I listen to what people are saying. But a lot of these fakesters and these influencers, the um, I don't know, what do you want? The fakesters, fake podcasters, whatever. They're coming to life. It's pretty crazy. It's almost pretty obvious who they are.
Oh, yes, it surely is. It surely is. When you see them go against President Donald J. Trump, what he's trying to do, and they act like they know more than him. I mean, it is really truly obvious who these individuals are, and that's the reason why I do not pay attention to them.
Yeah, you can't. And I tell my audience that all the time. Stay out of the noise because it's. I'll listen to it for them. Just kind of say, hey, just be careful. Kind of seeing this and that. But yeah, it's pretty. I get where the confusion can be for many. Because some people they thought they liked were good, and now we're seeing a lot of them turning on Trump. I say
Yeah.
that I say that too. When they start turning on Trump and calling him the Antichrist and everything like that, you need to run fast.
Well,
Um,
here's my deal with that. If you did not call Jim Crow Joe Biden the Antichrist, then shut the hell up. Okay.
Amen.
Then shut the hell up. That mother bastard destroyed this country. He put this country in such a mess, a web of mess and corruption. And President Trump is unwebbing the mess. That's what he's doing.
Yep, he's taking it all down, and I put out a post today. Gentleman explains it really good about how what he's doing, and with everybody just paying attention to the.
If you can hear me, I
Did
cannot
you
hear
hear me, or
you,
did I cut
Jenny.
out?
You cut out, Jenny. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so what part did you? What word did I leave off at?
At the beginning, start it over. Say it again.
So I was just basically saying that when people are they're so focused on just the petty stuff that they talk about, right? And it's just so much deeper than the surface stuff. I put out a post from a gentleman. It was a video just breaking it down for people that are saying that nothing's happening, Trump's not doing anything, all this kind of stuff, and he breaks it down to a T. A very well. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But it was very, very well done, and it hopefully will give some people some solace. Like just because you may not see it or it's not the arrest that you want doesn't mean nothing's happening. He's got a bigger war to worry about besides people tearing him down and all this kind of stuff. So I think people just need to go deeper and just stay off of the surface level stuff.
Exactly. Just think about this. Whenever Joe Biden was handing out money like it was candy, we saw the handing of the money, but what we didn't see was the corruption behind it. We didn't see how a lot of our wealth, Americans' wealth, was basically being laundered to foreign countries. Now we see it because President Trump team is exposing it. Okay. So when you look at President Trump and you want to say, he's not doing anything. He's doing a whole hell of a lot, and we will reap the benefits very, very soon.
Amen. And he tells us that all the time. And I tell my audience, if you're that really confused and you just don't know who to trust, listen to Trump. Like, I mean, first and foremost, God, but Trump is really telling us without directly telling us, right? He talks
Exactly.
about it all the time. Grab more popcorn, central casting, all this stuff. He's basically telling us. So, and we are in an operation. And he's a man, he's a wartime president, and he is a president of laws and orders. He's going by the
Mhm.
law of the land. So he's allowing these people, and that's what people don't understand. He's allowing these people to commit the crime so they can what? Do the time. So
Yeah.
laws
Well,
and
that's where I'm
orders.
at. That's where I'm at, Jenny. I'm ready for them to do the time. When I look at what's happening in Minnesota with Tim Walz, Tampon Timmy, when I look at how he oversaw and was basically an accessory to all of this money that was being stolen there in Minnesota. Why is he still at the government mansion? Why is he still in office? You know, if I was in a business and I was just alleged, if it was just alleged that I oversaw the death of Americans' wealth, I would be fired. So when this mofo be fired, they need to get him out, and then you continue their investigation, and then convict him, indict him, convict him, and lock his ass right on up, and put as many tampons in the cell that you want to with him. And so now when I think about it, that happened in Minnesota. What other type of schemes and scams in these other blue states aren't they doing to launder our wealth? It's just that's the big question for me. And then I saw Dr. Oz want to give him 60 days to clean it up, 60 days to fix it up. If it was just alleged that I was an accessory and overseeing the death of Americans' wealth, they will lock my black ass up, not give me 60 days to fix the problem. And so it's time for these corrupt politicians, these individuals that's overseeing this, it's time for them to be locked up. I understand that they're getting a small fry, but I'm ready for them to get the big cat. That's what
Amen.
I'm a Minnesota local resident, and
Hey, Liberty, hang on just a second. Hang on. We're going to come to you, but I just want to make sure that everybody know here, if you guys don't mind reposting the space, get some more people in here. If you've not been here in here with Silk, she is a hoot. She's a blast. She's a good time. We laugh, but we also give facts, right? So if you guys want to request a mic, I will unmute your mic. And then just raise your hand if you have a question or a comment for Silk, just so I know that you actually want to speak, not just, sit there on speaker mode. So go ahead, Liberty. Go ahead, Liberty. Your mic's unmuted.
yeah. Okay, thank you. Yep. So I was just worked with the home when I work in the service industry, so I get to talk to a lot of people, 5 to 10 people a day, and they open up sometimes about politics. But there's a guy I just talked with yesterday, and he had a friend that was a judge in Minnesota, and the Minnesota judge got arrested for smuggling drugs. There was about $8 million of cash and some other things that she just got arrested just 2 days ago in Minnesota. She was a Minnesota judge. She was a Somalian.
Oh,
Wow.
well, there you go. See, it's, it's
Wow.
happening.
Okay, exactly. It's happening. Thank God that it's happening. But I'm ready for the top dog to get caught. I'm ready for them to be going to jail, because they're the ones that overseeing this stuff. They are the ones that's an accessory to it. They are the ones that's giving the money away to be laundered with no oversight. They need to be gone as well. What's his name? Tampon Timmy. He do not need to be sitting there in the government mansion. His ass need to be sitting in prison. Okay. The judge, thank God the judge is going. And then there's another thing, like the gentleman just said, that person, that judge was a Somalian. Oh Lord, let me calm down. Calm down. How in the entire
You go, girl.
Girl, I am so sick and freaking tired of these foreigners infiltrating our political system. Who the hell are they representing? They don't represent Americans. How is it here in America we got these foreigners infiltrating our political system, saying that they're going to represent America when they're not even Americans? A judge who's a Somalian from a foreign country that's not even an American citizen? It's time, that loophole that they got there, it's time to really plug that loophole up and get rid of all of these foreign actors or caricatures or whatever you want to call them, the hell out of our systems.
Amen. Well, you know what? Listen, I love it. Like, I just got off of another podcast, and it's passion, right? Like Captain Kyle, he's passionate. He's like you. Enough is enough. I'm
You
done.
can call it
This is
passion.
my
I'm
country.
infuriated. Jenny, you can call it passion. I am infuriated. I'm really, truly infuriated with this thing because American citizens can barely run a campaign and gather the money to run a campaign to get into political office. Okay, as an American citizen born here on this soil, how in the hell do we have foreigners in Congress, in the Senate? We have foreigners in the mayorship, in the governorship. How is it that they're to govern their foreigners that they allow or have come over here illegally? How is that happening here in America? How? That don't make any sense to me, and it infuriates me that we are a constitutional republic governed by constitutional laws. We have laws. We have legislation that's supposed to protect we, the American people, and everybody is looking the other damn way. While Americans getting raped from behind, dry rape with no lubrication. No lubrication whatsoever, baby.
Well, you know what? This is the exposure part of it, right? How corrupt our system really is, that people still keep their head in the sand and think things are just normal. Well, no, it's not. Yeah. And like I was saying, like, enough is enough. We were talking in my last podcast that, if you're here in here illegally, you have a chance to go back, get the F out of here. Captain was, he's like you. I think a lot of people are like you. Like, you want to come into my country, you want to tell me what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to wear, how I'm going to speak. No, that's not going to happen. So I think we are at the precipice here where people are pissed off, and enough is enough, right? So no, I'm right there with you, my friend. Absolutely.
Enough is enough. American citizens can barely purchase their own property, but we got a whole group of people from a whole foreign country coming over here, turning different plots of our land into a foreign country and calling it a community. No, that's an issue. That's a very, very big issue for me. And I can't be quiet about it, because what happens if they want to come and take my land from me? You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of American citizens that was put out of their homes for these people to be able to go in there and roost while the government paid for it during the Biden regime.
And that's what,
I don't know.
and that's
Go
what,
ahead.
no, and that's what happens if we don't rise. And that's what many that are so comatose in sleep, right? We need to rise, right? So what's it going to take for people to rise? So I'm right there with you, my friend.
Exactly. And then when I look at Ilhan, not Ill, she is straight up ill to this country. Ilhan Omar, a lot of people don't even realize that the hijab, I know it's called a hijab or whatever it's called, but it's spelled hijab, whatever the hell it is she wore on her head. Do you know that Congress had a rule that you could not cover your head? And they changed the rules for Ilhan Omar. Do y'all know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes. They changed the rule to honor this foreigner who used to sit on our foreign committee. Now we're understanding all of these different programs that was set up, and a lot of the legislation was pushed with her and many more Democrats, especially when it comes down to this food program, where nobody ate nothing, nobody got nothing except their pocketbooks to launder the money over to Somalia. A lot of people don't even realize that as well. And so you change the rules for these foreigners, but for American citizens, what the hell do we get as tax-paying citizens? And then I looked at this Pramila Jayapal, I think I said her name right, from a whole nother country, who is sitting there in Congress, and she is looking to push some type of bill called dignity for detained immigrants. She wants to push a dignity for detained immigrants. Okay, but we have Tina Peters, who ain't hurt nobody. She ain't committed no damn crime. She followed the federal law. sitting there in prison. What about dignity for Tina Peters? What about that? Now, when you talk about, when I saw her ugly behind sitting there talking about dignity for detained immigrants, did a lot of these illegal aliens that she's fighting for, did they have any dignity when they was raping and killing American citizens? Any dignity whatsoever? See, that thing burns me up. Why is she even in Congress? How is she even there? Well, I do know now, because they have what's called a machine. They have different tactics to cheat these people in and put them in particular position, install them like a virus, like software, just like a straight up Trojan horse. A lot of these people have been installed, but there's no legislation, not one piece of legislation that comes from the Democrat side that is for American citizens. They're all for foreigners. Just look at it and think about it.
Amen, sister. Agree. Jersey, go ahead. Your hand's up, my friend. Jersey girl.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, Silk, it's really nice to meet you. And we were just talking over on the group on Telegram, and I know we're all really tired and we're very frustrated, but in the end, we've got to have that glimmer of hope. And I think President Trump knows what he's doing, and he told us today or yesterday that he said, you all haven't even seen the benefits of the work that I've done. And we're like, no shit, but he said once January comes, they're like, hold on, because that's when, the financial part is going to start coming. I don't know how much or anything like that. I don't want to go down that road, but I just, there is hope.
Now we have hope, Jersey. We have hope. And it's fine with the financial part. But my deal is this, sweetheart. When people have been stealing our wealth and we have the receipts of the theft, of the thievery, it is time to prosecute these individuals. I don't care if they are a governor, a mayor, Congress, the Senate. I don't care who the hell they are. If they created an NGO to launder American tax dollars through, they need to be arrested right now. We don't need to give them 60 days. We don't need to be just waiting. Listen, they will arrest my black ass right now, have me sitting in a cold cell while they're still doing their investigation. Why can't that happen to Tampon Timmy? Huh? Why can't that happen to Ilhan Omar? Why can't that happen to Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters? And the list can go on and on and on. Lock them up. We already got the receipts. We already see where they're laundering the money. I got what President Donald J. Trump is doing for the American people and the benefits we're going to get. But where I am at, I need to see some damn prep walks going on. Okay? Just like they did Steve Bannon. Yeah. And the Jay Sitzers. Yeah. And Tina Peters. Yeah. I need to see these people that have stolen our wealth. They need to be locked the hell up right now.
So do you think that both sides are being, it kind of feels like to me like both sides are getting really pissed off, and we're all going to kind of rise at the same time. We're pissed off, still divided until something happens.
When you say both sides, who are you referring to?
The left and the right.
The left is just
as far
nasty.
As the people, I think.
The left is just straight up nasty. If you are a Democrat and you go along with their foolery, you're just straight up nasty. Okay. But what I do feel is that our political officials that are on both sides of the aisle is complicit in this bullshit. But what I'm talking about is Democrats and Republicans. Okay. Maybe not all, but it's on both sides of the aisles that don't give a damn about this country, who's possibly getting paid off to subvert our Constitution, the lobbyist money, they're getting paid all of this different money, or they're being threatened, or being held captive, or something is happening here. It's been happening. That's the problem. It's been happening, especially with the GOP, the Grand Old Party. They don't mean our country no good. A lot of them are paid off to sit back and do absolutely nothing for Americans. So when you talk about both sides, I got where you're at, but when I talk about both sides, I'm talking about Republicans and Democrats. When I see how the GOP sits back and they know that these seats are open, instead of them putting people there that they know can win, they fight against it. They want the Democrats to win. Those are the deep state snake Republicans. They want Republicans to win in 2026. They don't want President Trump's agenda to move forward. They want business as usual. They want to keep that gravy train running and have we, the American tax people, like slaves around here, working hard, paying our tax dollars to a government that's really a cartel, in so many words, take our money from us so that they can launder it and use it for their own will and not the need of the American people. Those are the individuals I'm talking about.
That you just said exactly what I wanted to say. That the whole of Congress, in my opinion, is like a cartel, and the American people just haven't figured it out yet.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am. Good job. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Jersey. A lot of people don't understand. They think about a cartel. They think they just affiliate with the drug cartels, but no, it's bigger than that. Hello, Deborah. How are you? And everybody here, if you guys don't mind reposting the space, get some more people in here, because if you haven't been here with Silk, she's a good time. And for those of you that have requested a mic, please raise your hand if you have a question, or if you want to request a mic, and I'll bring you up. Go ahead, Deborah.
Hey, Jenny, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Silk, I'm doing
Deborah.
okay. I am about like Silk right now. Silk, you and Diamond came to Wilmington, where I live, with Laura Trump. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, I posted up in the nest. It kind of goes right along with what you're talking about, Diamond. We are giving the Taliban over $40 million a week, anywhere between 40 to 87 million. And Thomas West, which was in the Obama administration, has now become a staffer for the Democrat. What is it? The Democrat Director of National Intelligence, or for the Foreign Relations Committee.
Okay.
And they passed a bill a month, I believe it said, prior to him getting there. The House passed the bill.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
To stop funding the Taliban. And he has held it up in the Senate. And senators have been talking about this. And we've been posting about it. But he is now trying to change the bill to remove the mandatory reporting to Congress on where the U.S. dollars are going. And also the mandatory reporting of the NGOs. And so they're talking about this bill, but what people don't realize, on top of trying to change this bill, if they do pass the bill as it is, then they're going to start getting money. They get it directly from, I believe they said, Department of Defense, directly from our government. They get money. But the other thing they're going to try to do is get it through a special counter terrorism income that would push it to the Taliban. So I am like you, Silk. I am done. Washington needs to be wiped clean. We need brand new Republican and Democrats. We have got to come together, and we, the people in our communities, have got to stop giving to the GOP. We have got to start putting people that we know that are in our communities and run them for these positions. Don't allow some law firm to vet them that's part of the GOP. We need to come together as citizens in our community and get behind one candidate that will go there and represent us. Because what is going on, a lot of them are being blackmailed, and they're, like you said, Phil, their pockets are getting lined with lobbyists, and we have got to stop it. We are losing our country.
Yes.
Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton should be lined up for a firing squad for committing treason, along with Obama. I don't even think we should waste the time for jail on them and feed them and give them 3 hot in a cot. I am done with it. I am ready to take my country back. We have got to stand up and fight. People are complaining and fussing because we're bombing boats that are bringing drugs that are killing 130,000 Americans yearly. That is the biggest epidemic we have in our country right now. It was larger than COVID. And we are sitting here talking about their rights. What about American rights?
Right.
And
Deborah,
I am done with it.
Deborah, you are absolutely positively right. But let me tell you something. First off, I feel that we are already under a national security threat. Okay, we're already there.
We are,
right?
yes.
And the next thing,
Yeah, we are. You are right.
Yeah, and the next thing is this. When you talk about what we need to do as a country to get people in, we can't do that if they still have these machines, these mail-in ballots, these dead people on the voter roll, these illegal aliens that is watering down American votes. As long as those cheating mechanisms are in place, there is no way we can get our person in. It's all been a set up from the get up. Okay, we got
still what I'm talking about, because I did it here in Wilmington. What I'm talking about is the people that we allow to run, because I don't know if you know it, but the GOP was set in North Carolina to not back Trump, is what they were trying to do. And I hear all this Michael Whatley. Well, a lot went on at the North Carolina convention that people don't know about that was wrong, because like you said, this voting, and they sent it out on their phones, and it was just a nightmare. And so they were set up to not back Trump. And we told them, this is who we're voting for. You will not get one penny. And that's what I mean. If we go in there and say, let me say this, like Lindsey Graham in South Carolina, if their community would come together and elect somebody else and vote him in, then Donald Trump would have to support that person and get Lindsey Graham out. That's what I'm saying. Where we in the community have an effect is we override at the primary who we put in office to go to Washington. You see what I'm saying?
I got what you're saying, sweetheart. But what I'm saying is this: just like President Trump won North Carolina, but all of the down ticket ballots, 99.9% of the down ticket ballots went to Democrats. How is it that we voted for President Trump? He won North Carolina, but they want us to think that everybody turned around and voted down ticket ballots for Democrats. There's been a setup to stop and block. We can put our person there to run in the primary. We can do that. But the GOP, the grand old party, the rhinos, they're going to put someone else up that they know they can control right there and install them in that place. instead of who we put up. So it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money if they got these cheating mechanisms already out there to install who they want to install. That's where our issue is. And that's where our problem is as Americans for the whole apparatus of the election. When it comes down to any elections, as long as they got those cheating mechanisms, we are basically fucked.
100%. And Silk, I'm glad you brought up that about the Democrat down ballot, because I was actually on the committee that went and looked at the ballots, and the electorate tried to keep the information from us. We had to
Yes.
continually subpoena stuff. But you're right, as long as the computers are screwed, we're
Yep.
screwed.
We're
We have got
screwed.
to do one ballot, one day voting in
Yep.
person with our ID.
That's what has to
Absolutely.
happen. We
Absolutely.
got to get rid of these lobbyists, these people from these foreign interests, all of this money from Soros and all of these other NGOs and different things. We got to get rid of all of that so that we can get back to having free and fair elections. When we talk about election deniers, what's happening is we, the American people, are being denied the opportunity to have free and fair elections because they have already taken and subverted the laws, subverted the election laws. They have election weeks and election months instead of election days. And when we see that they're cheating, we have the evidence that they're cheating. What do? They lock us up, censor us, shut us down, and say that person won. When that person didn't win nothing, they stole it. They were installed. And so what I'm saying is that we got to get rid of all of the cheating mechanisms so we can go back to having free and fair elections in order for anything to change. If they don't get rid of that, it doesn't matter what President Donald J. Trump does. It doesn't matter what we does, Deborah. It don't even matter what you do. The deep state, the ones that's up there dwelling in the swamp, in the straight up sewer, they are the ones that's going to remain in power and continue to swindle our country forever and ever and ever.
And guess what?
100%. 100%.
Guess what? Good thing is here, Trump came out today and he said the 2020 election is going to be revealed for what it was here in the coming days. So what was it? It was fraud. What does fraud
It was
do?
fraud.
It vitiates everything, null and void. So bye bye. So I think we're gonna have some. I think we're gonna have the truth come out about that. But I mean, we all know what the truth was, right? But he came out and he said that.
Yeah.
I think it was either yesterday or today. But real quickly, I want to say hi to Stellar up here. Hi, Stellar. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I am sending posts, sending DMs, and everything. Thank you for giving me the mic. Oh my gosh, you are bringing so much fire in here. I love when you have your guests, so much information. Please, everyone, please repost the space. Jenny and her guests are always censored, so please repost the space. Tag a friend. Let's get in here and learn because she is saying so much truth. We got to take control. We got to get control of our voter rolls. We've got to get very active. Paper ballots, same day. Forget all of these mail in ballots and everything else. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's get our country back. Thank you so much for letting me speak.
Of course. Thank you, Stellar. Did you want to say anything to Silk or I mean, because you're the local, you and Silent. You're always you're about getting local, which I agree 100%. So I love what you guys always have to say.
Um, the power is within our state, our local governments, state governments. Our states are completely their own countries. A governor understanding how our country is set up, understand the Constitution, understanding the Bill of Rights federally, understanding what the three branches of government are. Um, taking our states back. That's where our voices and our power are. Exactly like what Silk is saying. We've got to get the correct representatives in there to represent us, whether it's in Washington or in our state capitals. We've got to get control of our Bill of Rights within our states and our state constitutions. The judges, the judges, so huge. We can see what the Secretary of States are. And a lot of these things have been hijacked because they stole it with the cheating and all that. So please, you guys, listen to what Silk is saying. Please follow. Let's do this and let's get our country back one state at a time. Thank you so much, Silk. Thank you so much,
You're
Jenny.
so welcome. You're so welcome.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you, Stellar. All right, Mr. Silent, go ahead. I see you're in the house. What's up, my friend?
Hey, what's happening?
How are you?
Well, tonight I decided to take a night off, so I'm out camping.
Well,
Uh,
damn.
yeah. I'm in the motor coach tonight. I had to hide. I'm hiding from the old people. What's up, Silk? Good to see you, girl.
What's up?
Oh,
Oh,
not much. How you
wonderful.
been? You doing good?
I've been doing good. I've been doing good, taking it one day at a time.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that we brought up at one of our local precinct meetings was election funding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you might see some of this. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But what was brought up is, okay, so on the local level, let's say a judge, right? Like Stellar was talking about, which is hugely important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the local, commissioner, about all the people locally, right? The funding that's going on is coming through various nefarious activities. So we're looking right now at making that local only. Like George Soros can't stick $2 million down in Harris County, like he did with the DA race when Dan Simon
Correct.
lost to Sean Terr. So what do you think about that policy as far as keeping the funding locally, and then if you're a state rep, keeping the funding on a state level, and of course national reps, that's a whole different ballgame. But the states really have all the power anyway. So
Well,
what do you think?
here's my deal. We can keep the funding local because whoever is representing us locally, that funding should be coming from the local individuals, okay? Because that representative is for that district or for that community. I got that part. But the problem that we're having is that people are getting paid off at the top to install whoever they choose to. So we at the local level, we can give our money to whoever we choose to and say we want to get this person in. But if we got people there that's at the election board that done been paid off to install whoever they want to switch the votes, to bring in these mail-in ballots, to do all of these cheating mechanisms, our money is not going to mean anybody any good. It's not going to matter because they still, people, okay, the way that I'm seeing this, and remember, I've been in this game for 10 years now, like straight up 10 years. The way I'm seeing this, it seems as though that certain candidates, they pay their way into these seats. And whoever pay that price is who's going to be installed. That's the game that's been played here. They tell us that it's an election. They tell us that it's a campaign. But in the end, they already know who they are going to install. And that's the problem that we've been having when it comes down to these different seats. That's how a lot of these foreigners have been able to get into a lot of these seats because they've paid this particular huge price to be installed in that particular seat. So I got where you're coming from, Silent. It's a very, very good thing, but that's only if this was truly a free and fair election. But what we're dealing with right now, we got these people are cheating us out of who we want to represent us and installing who they want to be in that particular seat for nefarious purposes. That's how I have seen this unfold, as I look into this and educate myself on it. It's corruption on every level of the scale. It's straight up corruption. And that's the game that these people have been playing for decades. That's the reason why a Maxine Waters can constantly be installed over and over 40 years, 50 years, and never campaign because she done paid her fee. She done paid her part. The people are not electing her. She basically is being installed because of what she done paid into the system. It's a system here. And that's the reason why they wanted to get rid of President Trump. They didn't want President Trump to get in because they knew President Trump was not part of the good old boy syndrome. President Trump was a billionaire, had his own money, funded himself. He didn't need all of this money from the lobbyists. All right. But when you got these lobbyists and you got all these cheating mechanisms, they already know who they're going to install. And that's our biggest issue right now. That's what I see.
Well, and I'll add to that. That's a very good point. I don't know if anybody in the space have judged an election, but I've judged two elections. 2024, the presidential election I judged, and then I just did another one a few months ago. It was kind of off election. There was a school board election and different seats. But what happens in those, when you go set up those elections, and this is some ground floor knowledge for you guys. Like when you get there, we get there at 5:30 in the morning, right, to do the election. But the night before, we set up all the equipment. So we set up all, there's eight voting stations per row, and each voting station has a control, like a controller, right? And so when people come in to vote, they okay, well, here's your ID or whatever, because we have ID in Texas. And then so people go vote, and they do their thing, and then it goes back to this I forget the word, but it's where they check them in, and then it shoots over to this controller. There's two controller boxes, and so at the end of the election, you run this tape, and then you download all your election results into this when they put their little paper in there, and it runs it and it throws it down in the ballot box. And then
the tabulator.
Yes, ma'am. And then what has to happen is at the end of the night, you got to tabulate all this shit and make sure all the numbers match up. And then you take those two main controller boxes and you take them to one voting station. And the judge and the alternate judge have to go together. So you drop that shit off. Once you drop that off, Silk, that's when the fuckery happens. Right there. Once you drop it off in there, because that's when they upload it.
Correct. So as long as that type of fuckery is still around, we're going to continue to get fucked. That's what's been happening. And I'm being right straight up real with you. That's what's been going on when it comes down to our elections. When you see these commissioners in these different cities, and they some old ass folks, dried up folks, still sitting there, stealing our wealth in our communities. They're there because they are being installed. And you just described how it is happening. So that's why we need a paper. We shouldn't have to go the day before setting up all of these machines. No, all we need is our paper and our pencil. And then we sit there, the Democrats on one side, Republicans on one side, and we count. Where did this vote go for, Republican or Democrat? Well, one for that one. This one goes here. That one goes there. And then at the end, it's tallied up right there with the paper. And now we know who wins. But when you're going through all of these different systems, that's called red tape. That's created red tape so that it can go through all of these different processes so that it can get watered down and they can install who they want. To hell with who we want. And so it's wasting our time. Like, why are we participating in an election if they already know who they're going to install? So it takes away the integrity. The integrity of doing an election is really watered down. And that's where we're at. That's how I see it.
Thank you, Silk. Thank you, Silent. Oh, go ahead, Silent.
I just want to tell Silk that was well said, because I can tell you, doing it twice, I witnessed it firsthand. I did. I was involved. Well, I didn't do any of the crazy shit, but I was on the ground floor. I mean, those elections, When I got there at 5:30 in the morning and I got home at midnight. What does that tell you?
Hmm.
There's a serious flaw in the process.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, and then
Bottom line.
just think about it. I was there at the White House in 2020 and saw it all go down with the switching of the numbers and all of this different stuff. And then when they shut everything down, that has never happened in any of our elections, our presidential elections, when they just shut everything down. So we know that they shut everything down. Then how are we going to move forward to say that Joe Biden won? Everything was shut down. And it never happened that way. And my deal is we know that these people are cheating. We know what type of technique they're using to cheat. So how do we say that that person actually won? How do we confirm them as the winner when they are the cheater? If I was playing a ball game and it was shown and proven that I was cheating in the ball game, what they going to do to me? You think they're going to give me the trophy? No, they're not going to give me the trophy. They're going to disqualify me. So there's a lot of people that shouldn't even be sitting in office right now that should be disqualified because they cheated. These people are not winning elections. When I see these seats flipping from red to blue, and they want to say this one won, this Democrat won, that Democrat won. No, they're cheating. They didn't win absolutely nothing. They should be disqualified from doing that.
Yeah, many states are very much prime examples of that, and we witnessed one here recently in New Jersey. So that was a shyster of a whole dealio. I want to welcome real quickly Santino to the stage. How are you, Santino?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Jenny? Hi, how are you, Silk? How you
Hi,
doing?
Santino. I'm doing good.
Good. I'm glad. It's interesting when you talk about, the elections and how they were fake and they were all rigged and what have you. I mean, you can sit there in a debate with somebody on the left or even middle left, and they'll say, no, it wasn't. No, it was one. Well, then why am I seeing all these visuals? Why am I seeing these trucks? People are taking these ballots, and then why am I seeing all these people that have voted 12 from different states and they've passed away? I mean, you can't really push back on something that is true. And I think that, as a community of people, we're actually waking up more and more every day, realizing that, the election was rigged, it was fake. And then we actually learned afterwards the agenda of this administration, the Biden administration, that is, watching what they did, watching what they were pushing through. But now we have bigger things to fry. I mean, we are at a different level now. I mean, things are happening, the thing with the Kirk and the Candace, that's another thing that's coming out now as well. I wonder what that's going to happen. I believe it's they're throwing out the bait to Candace, and I think she's very clever, very smart, and she knows what she's doing, and that's going to be interesting to watch. But no, things are going well. I think we're still going in the right direction. We got a bit of hiccups here and there, but this administration is strong. I think they know what they're doing. They're put there purposely. I mean, these people were chosen not a couple of weeks before he was put in. They were chosen a long time ago, and collectively says, you're going to do this position because I know you can do it well. And he went down a whole line of people and said, you're doing this, and they have the capabilities, and I think they're doing a good job. It is a lot of work, but I think that they're doing the best they can, and they do look stressed out. Of course they're going to be stressed out, right? Look at the
Right.
jobs. Look what they're dealing with. I'd be stressed out too. And they have families and kids. Are we forgetting about their personal lives? So they're dealing with this and they got to deal with that all at once. Yes. They're not going to be smiling 24/7. Go ahead, please. Sorry.
Exactly.
Thank you for.
But here's the deal, Santino. People were put in those positions, but there's people that's already in position from Obama, from Biden, that's still there. And they're dwarfing the process of getting a lot of stuff done easily. That's why you see people looking stressed. When Biden got his old decrepit imbecilic ass installed, the first thing he did is started firing people. And he started putting who he wanted there. President Trump gets in, elected, gets in, and start doing the same thing. And the first thing Democrats wanted to do is what? No, he can't fire this person. He can't fire that person. So When you look at the CIA, the FBI, the DOJ, there's a lot of Obama leftovers, a lot of Biden's leftovers that's still there, hiding stuff, doing different things, and so forth, and making President Trump's team's job not as easy as it needs to be. So it's time for those people to be fired. And if Joe Biden had the power to mess this country up, to destroy this country, then they should not be trying to stop President Donald J. Trump from cleaning up Joe Biden's mess. And that's all President Trump has been doing. So I got where you're coming from, and you are absolutely right. They're doing the best that they can. But there's a lot of Obama leftovers that's still there in position that needs to be gone. And President Trump, he just ignored these judges because President Trump has the power. He's the president of the United States. He needs to uproot every last one of them from the rooter to the tutor, every last one of them from every different position that is an Obama leftover. They need to be gone so that we can go ahead on and move smoothly through President Trump's agenda of getting this country back this way.
Did you want to respond, Santino? You good, my friend?
Oh, she's absolutely correct. She's always on point, and she's sure there is some leftovers, some oldies, and people that are just that's what we need, term limits. Like we talk about the Nancy Pelosi's and the one he looks like a lesbian. I don't even know what his name is. But they're there, right? And they're the ones that play both sides. They kind of cozy up to Trump, and he's not stupid. He knows exactly what they're doing. He remembers. He's very swift and very quick. You never forget. People think as you get older, oh no. One motion you remember exactly. Oh yeah, I remember what you did behind my back when you stabbed me back at the back then when I was in fourth year, whatever. He remembers everything, and he's actually weeding them away one by one, one by one. These indictments are coming. They're coming. People want them all at once. You can't do it all at once. It would be sloppy and messy. You have to cross your T's and dot all your I's. Because when you present it, it has to be perfect. They will find anything and everything wrong with it just to throw it out. And they're doing it. So you have to be really perfect. So
but
you do it.
Santino, did the Biden regime do that?
Oh, no.
No,
Of course
hell no.
they did.
They didn't do that. They went to grandma's and grandpa's homes. They sent the FBI in to raid these homes. They locked people up, had them locked up for 4 years, called themselves still doing an investigation. They created crimes. They changed the laws to make a crime, okay? No, it's time to fight fire with fire. I know they say turn the other cheek when you get slapped. No, it's time for us to turn the other cheek back and slap their asses right on back. We know that these people, we got the receipts. We know what these people have done. No. It's time to go ahead and lock them up, and we can ask questions later. If we have to do the investigation, like I said earlier, if I was caught in a business laundering money, they will fire me immediately just because of the allegation, because it will of how it makes that business look. Then they would turn around and lock me up while still gathering evidence. Okay, they need to do the same exact thing to these politicians. Now, look, I love y'all. I love you, Jenny. It's time for me to go ahead on and get to Diamond Silk Chit Chat Live. I got to get there. Tonight, I'm going to be interviewing some J sisters, you all, after being pardoned from President Donald J. Trump. You can find me at diamondandsilkstore.com. I love you all, and God bless.
I love you, Silk. And you know what? If I don't talk to you before Christmas, Merry Christmas. I think you're going to be busy, according to Tammy, coming into the holidays. So we'll get you. Are you good to come on in 2 weeks? Or are you going to be busy with holidays?
Merry Christmas, baby. I'm going to be out. I'm going to be taking my work.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yes. So I'll see you all next year. God bless, and continue to pray for me.
Of course. Love you, Sil. God bless you. And everybody here, Santino.
God bless you.
Stellar, Silent,
Love you
Deborah,
too.
Jersey. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Love you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas, Happy New Year. Love you. Thank you.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
you,
Love you.
Silk. Good to see you, Silk.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.